Alrighty then, here we go. 1v1 Arabia, the fan favorite Nilli taking on the Babadook, which is MBL. MBL here will come in with a couple 100-point rating advantage. Should be able to handle his business, but Nilli is a threatening player, and he's a guy who, we all know and love, so we can maybe cheer for him a little bit. Britons v. Britons, it's actually going to be about 170 points. Yeah, that's still a big gap. Difficult to win against a player who's 170 points better rated than you, but hey, never say never. Yellow player will be MBL, Britons, right side of the map. He's going to have main gold on the front. Very wallable front, very wallable side. MBL, in my opinion, likes to wall, at least in the games I watch. Very, very wallable map, and if MBL did wall in his map, he would have a lot of safe resources. I mean, if he blocks here and here, he's going to have a safe gold pile. He's going to have another safe gold if he blocks here. Should be a really easy map for him to wall and boom if he wants to, but maybe we'll see more aggression. Just 5 vills on sheep. Since it's Britons, you get the gathering rate bonus. You don't need 6 vills on sheep, just in case you're out there not knowing that just yet. Vills will go to this back wood line for MBL, and we will see how he plays this match. Nilli on the other side with 3 vills onto wood early. Is the 4th vill going there as well? Yeah, the 4th villager will go out to the wood line as well. On MBL side of the map, the next vill will go and grab the boar. So Nilli can drush if he wants to. He'll have a little extra wood with that 4th villager, but well, we'll see if he decides to. Nilli in red has both of his gold piles here on the back. Has he scouted those yet? He has. Really nice job by Nilli to scout all of that so early. Nilli's got a wallable map. Oh, sweet Jesus. We have a minefield of wolves on this side. That could be interesting. This is a bugged stone. If it was an important match, these guys you could probably get a I think, in a tournament game there. But that's not going to happen. Nilli has a really nice wood line here that blocks in almost his entire area. So Nilli can also wall up if he wants to. The advantage to Nilli wanting to wall might be that he could drush and then wall behind it. But anyway, enough of me thinking about walling. Man, I'm so freaking Chinese these days. Not that that's a bad thing. Anyway, Britons v. Britons, 13 villagers apiece. Let's just see who is a fraction of a second ahead right now. No, they're dead even. Gotta give some props to Nilli. He is dead even on efficiency on that TC as MBL. Okay, let's see. Villagers going out to grab the berries. Nothing too crazy going on the yellow side of the map. MBL is scouting his own side extensively. Sometimes we see him go forward with that scout and try to do a little bit of laming, but in this particular match, MBL is on his best behavior. Scouting every panel in the back here. This is going to be nice for the late game. He's going to find, if there were resources here, he would be finding them as we speak. Nilli has some great scouting on his side as well. He's found the important resources behind him, found a nice back wood line, and he's also got a really good idea of how he could wall this map if he wants to. And we are going to see a villager climb this hill rather early and already start building probably a house on top of this hill to start blocking in this ridge line. Now it's going to be the barracks. Didn't realize that Nilli didn't have a barracks yet. So his barracks will come on top of the hill. Villagers heading over to the gold pile. He is going to have to grab 10 gold in order to drush and loom. 3 militia drush costing 60 gold, of course. Red player coming across the map as we speak. We'll head straight toward MBL. Would have found the villager going out to the gold, I think, if he wanted to. Nilli's not going to screw around with those 2 vills, but he is going to scout the barracks. That's interesting. MBL didn't have the early villagers on wood, but he was still able to get his barracks up. Maybe just this 1 vill chopping the puny trees for the last couple of minutes was enough. MBL grabbing the 10 gold as we speak, and he will wall in the front using that barracks as part of a makeshift wall. MBL scouted really intensely on his side of the map, but he still hasn't found these freaking sheep. They're hugged right up against this wood line. Nilli is here just a moment late to deny that barracks, but he's going to kill this villager. Didn't realize that MBL didn't have loom, and now this vill is going to die. So face down in the dirt, she'll say this doesn't hurt, and yeah, that is not a good start for MBL. Nilli, maybe we wanted him to have a bit of an advantage here, since he's kind of fighting an uphill battle versus a really good player who can really wall in his map nicely. But yeah, we'll see. Can Nilli extrapolate this early bit of a victory into a win? What's going on out there in the chat? Americas, lots of Americas. Salty threatening to kill me. I said before the, if you're watching on YouTube, I said before the game launched that Salty loves Trump, and he hates Trump. Sorry about that, buddy. That's not nice. That's just rude. Anyway, this villager is still dead. Her corpse is decomposing at the moment. Quick walling coming from MBL. Nilli's drush here is actually really, really effective because MBL would have walled in this part of his base, and he would have walled on top of this hill, and he would have had a ton of area. Now we're seeing MBL having to quick wall just to keep this drush out. MBL still not able to find his sheep, keeping his scout close to his base here so he can defend himself with this one militia and the scout. So I would say this drush, well, I mean, Nilli killed the Vill before the drush got here, but I would say this drush is as effective as it could be. Really taking over a lot of map. If you have walls out here and your opponent starts to push you, you can just build another wall here. You can build another wall here. Ooh, no, not like this. Not like this, Nilli. Not like this. Oh, this is so tough. He's going to send his militia right into the TC. To be honest, those militia sent themselves. Nilli was over here trying to scout, getting an eye on MBL's new squeeze, new main squeeze here, the gold pile on the front. Nilli's walling is up, and it is extensive. Oh no, Nilli lost a Vill in the back. He lost 2 Vills in the back. That wolf, that landmine, that triple wolf landmine, grabbing 2 villagers. Oh god. When this game is over, we're going to go back and watch the carnage that happened at about 10 minutes of game time. Oh god, Nilli sending another Vill, loomed up villager, 2 wolves, tag team in this Vill. He'll live this time, but you know what? MBL Scout is going to be here just in time to chase Nilli away. MBL doesn't seem to be laming. Oh, now he recognizes it. MBL smells blood in the water, needs to kill this villager. This villager's so low. MBL is going to let the wolf do 99% of the work, and he will come in and snipe that villager. Oh, God. Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Killer B from the future, but really from the past. I've circled back to see the villager carnage that happened to Nilli. Not the villager carnage, the wolf carnage. We've got a 3-pack of wolves here chilling right by each other. You could trigger all 3 with 1 villager, and I think Nilli might just do that at some point here. Looks like initially an unloomed villager will walk forward. Unfortunately, Nilli hadn't scouted that pack of wolves. He's just trying to palisade wall his area. That's just a villager wanting to build some walls, and a couple of wolves just kind of all over his shit. If you could look at these wolves, you could see that the Vill did hit them both, but they're both on pretty high HP. If we fast forward a wee bit, we will see maybe a bit more carnage. Would we be making a video if there wasn't carnage to be seen? Another villager walks out. He's going to wiggle his sweet booty slowly toward the untimely death that he rightfully deserves. This guy's in shape, man. He's not an old man. He may be able to take these 2 wolves on. He is loomed up. Wolves will get the first strike in. Villager can't seem to find a place to get a hill advantage. One of these wolves is going to die for sure, and he might get the other. It is any man's game at this point, but we're not going to ever find out, because here comes the 3rd wolf to roll his way in and basically knock down this poor bastard of a villager. Okay, so what's next? What could possibly be next? Could another villager go down to this? MBL is playing in yellow, obviously. Nilli's trying to wall him out, and these freaking wolves just keep on stopping Nilli. Nilli will send another Vill. This Vill is loomed. He can definitely win this fight between 1.5 wolves. Unfortunately, MBL Scout will walk his way through here, and Nilli's just going to try to run home. Nothing to see here, MBL Scout. Nothing to see. MBL, having the infinite panache that he has, will just stand beside this villager while he fights to the death with a wild beast, and then MBL will come in and finish the job. So that is how Nilli lost 1, 2, 3 villagers to wolves in this particular match. Back to the game. Nilli losing 3 Vills, and I think this is why Nilli's drush went straight into MBL's TC. He was so busy trying to figure out what the hell is going on with a clusterfuck of wolves coming after me. Wow, this game just got interesting. MBL coming forward with 5 Vills. He's a villager ahead, even though his opponent's drush was really effective. Yellow player walling himself in as we speak, trying to get himself safe and sound at home. And man, what an interesting game. Wolves are in the mix once again. looks like MBL should be able to handle his business. 4-on-1, taking down that wolf. Yellow scout hanging out in this top corner, trying to make sure that that top side stays open. But Nilli has gone on to do some stonewalling. Nilpford here in red will go ahead and stonewall up the side of his map, go archery range blacksmith on the front, and start pumping out units. Still not able to close in this bottom corner, and interestingly, right as I say that, MBL walks through that opening and heads straight toward the TC. So these 3 militia from MBL can maybe get in here and do some harassment. Nilli starting to build up archers, one would presume, based on his economy, but he is greedily, I would say greedily milling deer. This is the back of his base, but this is an area that he's just going to hope that MBL doesn't find for now. Quick castle click up for Nilli. He's going to be jumping up with a couple of stone walls on the side. The problem is MBL is here and he's ready to push. Nice secondary walling from Nilli. It's always nice to have your walls out here so you can wall again if you have to. This tower from MBL is going to do nothing. It's going to do absolutely nothing. Stone walls will hold them out. Nilli able to push back the Drush with all of these villagers on gold. Tons of villagers on gold. 2 vills over to stone as well, maybe to replenish. Oh no, now MBL's going to run under the TC. Man, damn. Interesting game. First couple archers coming out for Nilli. I would assume he wants to get another range down here relatively soon, but he's been working so hard to wall himself in. MBL's Drush is being chased away. Nilli does come to the corner and stonewall up that exit. So these militia are dead meat. MBL running across the map, and we got just another wolf in the mix. The wolves want to have an impact on this game. It's going to be double ranges forward on the hill for MBL. So MBL had a big advantage there since Nilli lost 3 villagers to wolves. But he went forward, dropped a tower that's not doing anything, and then walked all the way back, really essentially losing all of the gather time that he could have had with those 5 villagers. Nilli's going to hit the castle age. MBL is not going to be able to click just yet. Actually looking like he needs quite a bit more food. And we're going to see Nilli with a chance to maybe take this game back over. I mean, he's behind by a few vills, but those are kind of due to the castle age upgrade time. Red player is immediately going to power build the TC. This is a lot of villagers to build 1 TC. But he's going to have 7 or 8 of his vills working on building that up. 1 farm going at the moment for Nilli. Does have a nice deer patch that he just finished chewing up. So Nilli's got a little bit of food to work with, but he's going to need to seed some farms. He doesn't really have a lot of wood to work with. Going to be hard to keep 2 TCs going, but we will see if Nilli can do it. For now, the range is idle, so that is some resource that he doesn't have to worry about. 3rd TC coming on the back for the red player as we speak. And we're going to see him booming up. In the meantime, we will see MBL continuing to, well, pump out archers and wait for his food number to get high enough to click up to the next stage. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 farms for MBL. Never found these 2 sheep. That's really unfortunate. Lots of scouting for the yellow player here, but never found those last couple sheep. MBL's not safe really forever. Yeah, this is some nice secondary stonewalling. It is necessary for him to stonewall here, and when he comes to wall this last panel, he's going to find his sheep. There you go. MBL's got to stonewall this because Nilli will push through, and MBL has to, respect the fact, the possibility that that Nilli's going hardcore into double range crossbows. Although Nilli isn't doing that, MBL has to respect it. Anyway, a couple more archers from MBL being queued as we speak. Nilli has gone into crossbow, but he's just got 2 of them. He'll push through this wall. He'll take away this front area, but MBL is safe for the time being. Interesting game so far. It seems like neither player really able to do anything to help their case to win. We've just seen like really tough breaks. Wolves taking down Nilli. Nilli's Drush taking down MBL. MBL towering and not really being that effective. Somebody is going to have to win this game before the other player decides to lose it. Anyway, this last stone panel will be the one Nilli goes after, but it's going to take a while for him to get through. MBL's archers work their way out. Padded archer armor is coming. Castle Age is coming as well. And we'll soon see the yellow player upgrade and kill these units on the front for free. He may not even wait for the upgrade. Looks like he's just going to walk in and take down these couple units. Okay, back at home, Nilli, who's been up to the castle age for a little while, is starting to get out to a little bit of a villager advantage. Looks like he'll have wheelbarrow on the way, a 4th TC on the way, 3 villager advantage, fully cranking out vills on 3 TCs. Nilli's seeded, looks like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's seeded about 15 farms since the last time we checked his base. Got to keep those farmers working so that he can continue to crank out vills. Gonna need a lot of farms to keep up villager production. Defensive Siege Workshop here suggests to us that we're not going to see a real military from Nilli for quite some time. And why would he build a military? He's stonewalled in. His opponent just hit the castle age. MBL probably needs to sense what's happening here and send forward a vill and build a siege workshop. But for the moment, we'll see the yellow player pushing on a house, trying to get through. At the moment, +1/+1 on those crossbows. Bodkin arrow on the way. Nilli's going to do a little bit more walling here. He will drop a couple panels of stone wall to try to keep himself safe. MBL is, can he see this? It might be just outside of his line of sight. No, MBL can see this, so he has to know what's going on here. Once he pushes through this house, it's probably not going to, it's probably going to be stonewalled up. No vills coming forward, but we do see a lot of villagers from MBL heading over to stone, thinking about a castle. Nilli will throw a mangonel out there on the front, and he will get a couple of really good shots in. Enough shots in there to actually push MBL away. That buys him the time to build up these stone walls. And yeah, Nilli on 4 TCs, booming behind stone walls. Nilli is going all in for the boom, and why not? His map tells him that's the right thing to do. Still sending vills over to gold. Economy's really nicely balanced, not floating a single resource at the moment. Seeding more farms, of course, to support that 4th DC, and just 1 mangonel on the front for Nilli, who's got 3 military units. One of them is a crossbowman hanging out here on MBL's woodline. One of them is a mangonel, and I don't know, honestly, what the other 2 are. Who gives a shit? Anyway, handcart coming for Nilli as we speak, continuing to bolster his, not that big of an economic advantage, actually. For a guy who's on 4 TCs, he's only 3 villagers ahead. MBL is on 1, 2, 3. MBL is also on 4 TCs. 4 TC boom for both players in this game. Hey, Hightower, welcome. MBL can't know that Nilli is just booming. Nilli isn't even that far ahead in vills. Yeah, absolutely. So we will wait and see how this game moves on. At some point, well, I guess we'll see a couple of these houses go down. MBL will walk forward and find out that his opponent is fully stonewalled all the way in. Probably sensing the writing on the wall right now, seeing the stone walls, seeing Nilli scored, and seeing just 1 mangonel out. Both players on a 4 TC boom, and we're just going to have to see who's more efficient. Right now, it looks like MBL is a little bit more efficient, starting to actually pull out to a pretty big villager advantage. Is Nilli hoarding up some food for some reason? I think he's housed for a moment. Nilli, unfortunately, housed for just a little bit there. We could just see MBL pulling like villager and villager ahead. For the moment, we are waiting for this game to heat up. Nilli adding in another mangonel just to keep respect for his opponent. MBL for the moment being very efficient. He will add a forward castle on that hill, a couple of ranges on the front, and he's going to start cranking out some monks and grabbing some relics. So we've got a 4 TC boom off. I guess we've got basically an arena match going right now. Another town center coming for MBL because 4 wasn't enough. Little thin spot here in the wood line. Could be an interesting spot to, I don't know, chop through, I guess, someday. But yeah, right now it is a boom off. Market coming down for Nilli as we speak. University coming down for him. And we will wait and see what Nilli's next move is. It seems to be going over to stone to try to get a castle out. MBL at the moment has found a decent spot to push on this eco. He can't reach a lot of villagers, but he can idle some farms here, idle a little bit of this wood line. Sending Nilli back across the map. Imperial H coming in, and these guys are back to dead even footing on villager count. Dead even on villagers, really essentially dead even on Imperial time. And we are going to see this game go as MBL builds his 5th TC. We're going to see this game go into a post-Imperial battle. No huge sign of what these 2 players are going to do just yet. I don't see MBL I actually do see MBL starting to transition into stables. Okay, that's a sign. He's teched into crossbows pretty deeply. It's Britons, that's not surprising. But is adding in 4 stables as we speak. Nilli is going to continue to build crossbows, albeit at a rather slow pace. And he may have another mangonel. It looks like 2 mangonels for the moment. Okay. We're waiting for this game to pop off. Castle coming on the top of the hill here for Nilli. And we'll have to see if he can hold that area. MBL will have more castles a little bit further away, taking over a bit of map here in the middle. Gotta love that. Spreading a couple crossbows is the yellow player, kind of all over the place. Keeping an eye on Nilli and just basically keeping him inside of his walls. Sounds like a Chinese proverb. When you wall yourself in, you wall the world out. Oh, so deep. When you point one finger at another, you point 3 fingers back at yourself. Nilli here is going to send a villager out, start stonewalling up this far corner. That will give him possession of this relic. Unfortunately, these wolves aren't going to get into the mix. That would be really entertaining, and that will give Nilli just another safe gold. Nice little move. Got to expand your sphere of influence from time to time, and I'm just going to quickly turn the volume down. Just a wee bit loud for me. Anyway, MBL getting a couple of mangonel shots to the face. Nilli's going into longbowman as we speak. MBL on the other side of the map is starting to add in a couple of, well, for now it's a couple of scouts. Maybe some light cav coming from MBL. Ballistics on the way. Bracer on the way. Any activity in the castle? We've got a Treb out already. And we'll see MBL roll forward. Sorry, I said he had 2 castles, but he's just got 1 at the moment. The Babadook is actually not taking stone too quickly. It looks like Nilli will actually be the first player to have 2 castles. Elite longbowmen on the way. For the moment, these villagers mining happily in the shadow of this castle. They will soon be protected by a couple of elite longbows. Just 4 longbows for Nilli. And, ooh, this castle position is interesting. Castle at the bottom of the hill here to reinforce the front area. MBL's Trebs are already out. They're working on taking down some houses on the front. MBL's castle, ooh, that's why he didn't have the stone, will be dropped here on the front. So MBL being aggressive, able to snipe that tree. Nilli is ready for it. Is he going to get a couple hammers down? Just 1 hammer down. There's only 142 HP on this piece of wall. And MBL is going to be in just 3 shakes of a lamb's tail. Sniping that puny tree that we thought might be an interesting area of the map. Sniping it down with the old Trebaruski. Arbalest coming in, Ring Archer Armor coming in, and we're about to see 40 Arbs inside of Nilli's base. Nilli here is going to power build a defensive castle and just try to keep the ship from sinking. Rams coming in from Nilli to maybe soak up some arrow fire. A couple longbows, but this is a lot of Arbs, man. This is a lot of Arbalest. Nilli will lose a couple vills, still has 103, but that number is going to shrink, I promise you. Those Rams are actually headed straight toward the castle of MBL. Very smart. I forgot already that there was an opening in this wall. One piece of wall there from MBL. Not sure what the plan is, but these villagers need to get in and start rushing down these Rams, I would think. Trebs will try to knock them down as well. But maybe Nilli can snipe that castle. In the meantime, we'll see Arbalest roaming in here. They're not able to find a really good place to poke and prod just yet. But MBL being aggressive and trying to keep his opponent honest. Couple light cav come into the mix. And it looks like these Rams will not get the job done. Castle will stand. More Trebs coming from MBL. And maybe this isn't going to be Arbalest raiding. Maybe it's just going to be Arbalest camping on this hill and defending the Trebs from MBL in a few minutes. Chemistry coming in for both players. Elite, Skirmisher, Yeoman coming in as well. Nilli's not got the critical mass of these longbows that he needs. Of course, you need a little bit more time. But he is adding in some Rams. Nilli will have a Treb of his own. And still has the 3 castles for the moment. MBL's got to be rolling forward with his Trebs at some point. Looks like he will roll to the other side of Nilli's base and start working on this front castle. So, Arbalest versus Longbows. I should say Arbalest and Light Cav and a couple of Skirmishers versus Longbows. Longbowmen here are going to have all they can handle to try to deal with this. 90 kilogram projectiles start to fly in. This castle is already in trouble. Nilli's got to get quite a few villagers out there to repair it if he's going to keep it up. But the thing is, MBL is just going to stop Nilli from taking down these Trebs. Even the first couple rams that roll through aren't really going to have a good chance to stop this. Red player's trying to snipe Trebs with Trebs. Maybe that could work. He's got to get a little lucky with RNG. Yeah, that shot is just going to miss just by a whisker. This castle looks like it will go down. Nilli bringing a couple more villagers into the mix, but it's just not going to happen. No bueno, my friend. Rams unfortunately can't get the job done. Longbowman getting in a couple of shots on these light cav, but Nilli looks like he's about to get swamped out of this game. MBL camping Arbs, still inside the eco there if he chooses to bring military in that direction. Light cav running in for the yellow player, trying to snipe down this Mangonel. Treb v Trebs on the top here. Nilli dropping another castle, basically in the same spot as the last one. About one panel further back. In the meantime, the yellow player MBL will fight uphill. He will actually start to knock this Treb down. Is there a villager repairing this thing or what? No, that thing is going down. MBL will climb the hill. He's going to lose all of his Trebs potentially in this fight. But in the end, the yellow player is pretty happy at home. Nilli at the moment with 30 idle vills, just trying to keep the ship floating, my friends. Still villagers dying on the front. Longbows fighting uphill for Nilli, just trying to win back his own economy there on that side. Trebs pack up and roll forward. More villagers going down for Nilli here on the front. MBL being very efficient at sniping those villagers. For the moment, though, he's focusing on the Treb. Needs to be able to kill these vills who are trying to repair it. Rams will roll in. Nilli can knock down a Treb here before the light cavalry come in. Maybe, hopefully, probably. Yeah, there it goes. And we'll see this game continue to roll forward. MBL kind of losing a lot of units there. Definitely still in a winning position. Up by 1,600 points, in a great spot to win this one. But Nilli's alive here. Nilli loses the castle but holds the hill, and for the moment will live to fight another day. Total villager count is plus 10 for Nilli, but he's got 20 idols at the moment. Trebs are still on top of the hill here for the red player, still trying to work on his opponent's Trebs. Enough longbows here to hold the light cav out for now, but those are really starting to dwindle. MBL using trash to great effect to try to get those gold units from his opponent. At the moment, we've got MBL floating 1,000 gold and 1,000 stone. Nilli actually floating quite a bit of food and quite a bit of wood and gold as well. That's where you can see the difference of execution between 2K1 and 2K3. Yo, Sinkin's here. Yeah, Nilli here is having a real fight on his hands, of course. Anytime you play a player who's 100 or so, or 200 points ahead of you in rating, you got an uphill battle in front of you. MBL at the moment, unit choice seems to be really nice, adding in those light cav, just trying to honeypot his opponent into coming after these Trebs, and for now it's working. Those Trebs, though, have gone down. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dead Trebs here. That is a whole lot of resource for the yellow player that has been lost. A couple Trebs here from MBL are in here totally unprotected. Never have unprotected Trebs. Those Trebs have, well, they have one longbowman, which Nilli is trying to use to take down, MBL is trying to use to protect all of these Trebs on the front. Nilli's actually going to walk past those Trebs, potentially going to lose his castle here. Nilli's got to respect this and knock these down. Looks like the villagers will rush these Trebs down. Will it be fast enough, though? I don't think so. Nilli's going to lose this castle. No, he's not. It's going to survive on 200 HP for the moment. Next shot comes in, and the castle goes down. Oh my god. MBL sending in 2 Trebs by themselves. Sending a boy to do a man's job, but somehow those Trebs get the job done on that side. Nilli loses a castle here on the top. MBL with 4 Trebs now on the hill will knock down yet another castle. The Babadook here with 50 military units at the moment is coming forward to finish his opponent. Nilli gives the GG, well played. And we